Hi guys, welcome to the Toffee Blues, your source for all things Everton, and welcome to the live Carabao Cup draw for the second round of the Carabao Cup. Thankfully, it's coming on in the evening shortly after the end of the Cup games, rather than a couple of draws last season were done in China at 4 a.m. in the morning, so it's a bit of a pleasant change to see. But what we've got to remember is the draw is, I've noticed a few guys in the live chat's just been mentioning who we could get. We can only get northern teams. We're in the northern section of the draw. It's been split into two sections, so only northern opposition on the agenda this time. We are obviously we're all focusing on Everton here, and the main thing to remember is Everton are ball number 3 in the draw, so that's the number to listen out for. Hi, chicken kebab and chips. I'm afraid I can't show the draw right now because my stream's acting up anyway, but I've got live coverage coming up straight away. Please, Tranmere. I'm afraid, Edwards, we can't get Tranmere. They've just been walloped by Hull City at home. So we're just waiting now to see the draw come up. Now it's just gone for a break. And Gary Neville's been talking for the past 10 minutes. Seems to be an eternity. Max Redfern, I want Crew. I can't remember the last time Everton have played Crew. Who do I want? I think a lot of people have said Watford prediction. So, yeah, I think Sunderland will be good, but I'd like to get one of the two sides that are struggling, maybe Berry or Bolton. That'd be Berry or Bolton would be good for us, I reckon, because we're usually quite good with helping teams out like that. And I think it might be nice if we got them at home maybe, and something was done maybe where we donated the gate receipts to those teams. Bolton are out. Oh dear. A Berry still in it, guys. I haven't really had a chance to. I'm just having a peek up at Sky Sports News now, so that's right. I'm just hoping for some sort of update. It's just running along the screen. It's non-league scores at the moment. Number 23 leads. Derby away. 5-2. Rochdale. I see. Leeds United also got through. Just walloped Salford City. So if anyone wanted Salford, that's done and dusted as well. Hull City, people are saying. Millwall at home. Burton 1. Everton fan game postponed. Is that the... Oh, yeah, the Berry game, of course. They've been getting all their games postponed of late. Last time we played Crew was 2002 in the FA Cup. I'm glad I've got my stats man on hand, so that's good to know. I was thinking 2002, but I was confused with the League Cup game against Wrexham, where Wayne Rooney scored his first Everton goals. Berry game postponed. Sheffield Wednesday. Yeah. I think even if they were allowed to play that game, I think Wednesday probably would have got through. I want Villa. There is the possibility we could get Villa. There's a couple of Prem teams in this round. I think Aston Villa, Leicester, Newcastle are a few sides that we could get at this level. We lost 2-1 in the second leg. Hi, James Martin. I'd love to know the answer myself. I was hoping I've heard from most that it was meant to start at 10 p.m, but apparently Sky want to keep on talking about the Salford City Leeds United game for a while, and of course Gary Neville's the co-owner of Salford, so he's clearly getting a lot of face time at the moment. We're just waiting for the show to come back and see whether this draw is actually going to happen anytime soon. Ian Clark, Nightmare Cup, this is for us. Yes, let's not forget that we haven't won this cup in our entire history. We've got a wretched record, and everyone's going, we want a lower team, but it doesn't necessarily mean anything. We've had a wretched record even against lower sides. I can recall in the past decade the teams who've knocked us out, the likes of Brentford, I remember Norwich at home, we've seen some rubbish, let's be honest. Yeah, just a little reminder there from the channel. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We don't want Millwall. It's a good job because we're not getting Millwall. Blackburn fan. A lot of people wouldn't mind Blackburn. I've been to Blackburn away a few times, and it's It's a nice away day. I saw someone say before that they didn't want a home game because they think home games against lower opposition are quite dull, but I can see the appeal from both sides. Everyone wants a bit of an adventure, maybe wants the away day, but you do want to, at the end of the day, get through to the next round. Yeah, Everton are ball number 3. Here we go. Paul Robinson and Gary Neville are drawing the names out of the hat, it seems. Here we go. They're doing the southern draw first, it seems, so we've got a... Yep, Plymouth Argyle versus Reading is the first draw out of the hat. Crawley Town at home next against Norwich. There are 26 teams, Jonathan, in the southern draw and 24 in the northern draw. I'm not entirely sure whether Forest is north or south. It's all part of the adventure. This, I think we just have to find out as it goes along. West Ham have got Newport away. I know, Katie Wilson, I agree, bloody Southerners, they always get picked first. Oxford United at home against Millwall. Everyone's been saying Oxford, everyone's been saying Millwall. Well, they have got each other. Leicester are in the northern draw, we just don't want that. Yeah, I agree with NUFC Morney, fuck the South. Who have Southampton got? Well, Watford have just been pulled out at home against Coventry City. Derby County at home, that'd be a difficult game. I mean, Marcel Brands and Philip Cocu would have a little handshake maybe, but Swansea City just come out the hat at home against Cambridge. Yeah, Marcel Brands and Philip Cocu would have a warm embrace, to be sure. Just not Barnsley, been there twice in recent years. Cardiff City, the next out the hat, at home. Cardiff have Luton at home. Notts Forest are in the north as well. So a couple of tricky teams potentially there for us. Of course, Leeds went through as well. This evening they beat Salford City away from home 3-0. Bristol Rovers versus Brighton. Crystal Palace at home as well. And they've got Colchester at home. We got QPR away. I'd love to see how that happens. I can't remember the last time. I didn't know QPR was just up there, next down the road from Newcastle. Fulham versus Southampton. Would have been a Prem tie last year. Bournemouth at home as well. A lot of Prem teams getting pulled out at home here. Bournemouth versus Forest Green. Southend v MK Dons. He's right, Keith Gary Neville never shuts up, does he? Do you want to get me on them programmes? I'm telling you that. QPR Portsmouth. It's hyped. The draw is on Sky Sports Football at the moment. Lincoln. We've got Lincoln, guys. I'd love to be able to give you a channel number. It's hyped, but I'm watching it on a dodgy stream. I'll be quite honest. If you go on Crick Free, that's where the live stream I'm watching is. So, guys, Lincoln away. What's your opinions on Lincoln away? I never like going to away ground in the lower leagues. It's always a bit difficult, but we did beat Lincoln, as we said, last season, so it should be we should be going into a confidence. James Martin should be an easy game, I suppose it should be, but this is Everton, it's the League Cup, so we've got to go and be more difficult than people expect. It's going to be a tough game. It was at Goodison, but we are going to Sinsel Bank, it seems, later on this month, as I imagine. I think it's around the 25th of August, usually this week. The other games in the north, we've got Newcastle coming out the draw against Newcastle versus Leicester, guys. That's going to be a really interesting one. That's what we wanted to see. Newcastle United versus Leicester City. That's two of the biggest sides in this round being pitted against each other. Burton versus Morecambe. Nottingham Forest. Now, a lot of people in the chat did say that they wanted Nottingham Forest. Week commencing 26th of August, guys. Everyone's very confident, it seems, about Lincoln away. We do need to win a cup this year, absolutely. I mean, it's got to be the priority, surely. Preston at Hull. Nottingham Forest. Yep, we actually did get Lincoln. Right, here we go. Everyone's asking who did some teams get, who did the other teams get. I've got the full draw now to bring you in order. Aston Villa got Crewe away. Lincoln versus Everton, of course. Leeds versus Stoke. Sheffield United versus Blackburn. Interesting game there. Rotherham versus Sheffield Wednesday or Bury, which is looking very like Sheffield Wednesday. Newcastle versus Leicester. That's a very good one as far as we're concerned. Getting two of the biggest sides currently in the competition out the way straight away. One of those will be going out. Burton versus Morecambe. Burnley versus Sunderland. A derby, if you like. Nottingham Forest versus Derby. So everyone was talking about both of them being in the north. Well, they've got each other. Grimsby versus Macclesfield. Preston versus Hull. And Rochdale versus Carlisle. And then I'll just rerun the second round draw from the southern section. Plymouth versus Reading, Crawley versus Norwich, Newport versus West Ham, Oxford versus Millwall, Watford versus Coventry, Cardiff versus Luton, Bristol Rovers versus Brighton, Crystal Palace versus Colchester, Fulham versus Saints, Bournemouth versus Forest Green, Southend versus MK Dons, and Queen's Park Rangers versus Portsmouth. So there you go. A couple of interesting ties there. Derby, Nottingham Forest really caught the eye, I think, there. Newcastle, Leicester as well. But, of course, what matters is Everton will play Lincoln City away at Sinsel Bank around the 26th of August, sort of. So it's an away day in the League Cup, second round. Obviously, I've seen one message earlier on, people saying what my Watford prediction is. I feel very confident that we will win the Watford game, which is coming up in a couple of days. So that's obviously the priority right now. And up until then, we will have more content for you here on the Toffee Blues. So stay tuned for that. Thanks, guys.